What's up, guys, and welcome to the Bearded Jeeper podcast. On today's episode, we chat with Brian, the Midwest Jeeper, and we talk about using the crapper on the trail, security at Taco Bell, $2 bills, and a whole lot more. What's going on, guys? And this is another episode of the Bearded Jeeper podcast. Today, we're bringing back Brian, the Midwest Jeeper, for some ranting and talking, and hopefully this one won't last 2 hours. What's going on, Brian?
Nothing much. What's going on with you, sir?
Just busy, rainy day here in New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's pretty cold here. You go outside, and we've got a dog now, and so taking the dog outside, definitely it's one of those things where you go, I should have put a jacket on. Hurry up and pee so I can go back in the house. It's like 30 degrees in the morning.
That's what I love about my setup is like I have my whole yard fenced in, and I can just open up the door and let the dog out. So he just goes out and does his thing.
Yeah, I'm not that lucky. My wife asked me about doing a fence, and I was like, nah, I think it's cheaper to train the dog not to run out of the yard.
Yeah, my dog still tries to get out of the yard, and I've had to chase him throughout the neighborhood a couple of times. It's been miserable.
No, I've actually gotten lucky because there's been a couple of times I'll open up the patio door and Ruby will go running out, and she just stays in the yard. So,
well, that's pretty handy. I mean, my dog never leaves the neighborhood. He just kind of roams around, visits all my neighbors and stuff. But you try to catch him, and we have a steep hill incline behind the house, and you're trying to run up the hill and try to catch him, and you get a workout in for sure.
Steep hills will do that to you.
So you have a new mic, and this should be sounding a lot better than the previous episode you were on. So we both have the Rode Pod mic now. How are you liking it?
I'm really liking it. In all honesty, I was going to go with a condenser mic, and then I started doing a little bit more research, and a dynamic mic like the Rode Pod mic was definitely a better investment. So I'm going to be doing some voiceovers. Last time we had talked, I was saying, hey, I'm going to do more videos for YouTube. I kind of pushed that off to the side a little bit because I've got some other things going on, and I'm going to wait for those videos that I recorded to actually release them more in winter versus,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things, but I like the equipment. A buddy of mine, him and I are going to be starting a podcast pretty much that's anything, nothing, and everything kind of deal. So it'll be just two dudes shooting the breeze.
That sounds like a great podcast. And if you need a guest, you know who to call.
Absolutely.
Not Ghostbusters.
Not Ghostbusters. You never know. Well, we're hoping to get something together within the next couple of weeks. He's actually still waiting for a bunch of his equipment to come in because I bought everything first, and then he ordered basically everything that I ordered. So it was nice. We'll have the exact same equipment.
Yeah, so that way it'll make it a whole lot easier editing and in post. And you said you were recording completely remotely. So how are you doing? Are you doing in Zoom like I do this, or are you like just recording separately and kind of stitching it together? How are you going to tackle that?
We're not exactly sure how we're going to do it. So that's the whole part of testing it out. We've heard of some people doing it via Zoom. We've heard of other people doing it via Skype, but it's trying to make. But one of the biggest things is when you record remotely is if you want the best quality, make sure that everybody is recording locally. So if we do the podcast and let's say we decide to pick Zoom, he's going to make sure, along with myself, that we're recording locally, and then he's going to send me the files, and then I'll be able to put them together and clean up any weirdness in the audio. And I mean, it's not like we're looking to get rich off of it, but I wouldn't mind making a little bit of money to invest in some cooler equipment, depending upon how it goes.
Yeah, who knows? You could have a studio like Joe Rogan before you know it.
Hey man, you never know.
I love listening to his podcasts. Like, they're really long though. Some of them are like 4 hours long, and I just kind of like as I'm driving places, I'll continually listen to them. Like, a half hour here, 45 minutes there, and I get through them.
And it's amazing because I was finding out, and I thought, just YouTube was the big media thing, but apparently podcasting is bigger than YouTube per se,
Well, it's taken
because
off lately because
you can take it with you anywhere. When you're driving down the road, you can't watch videos. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't.
I've
But
done
you
it,
can
but
listen
it's
to a
dangerous.
podcast.
Don't do it
Oh
at
my
home,
gosh.
kids. I used to have a Volkswagen Jetta, and I thought it was the coolest thing. It was like back when those double din flip out
Yep.
screens were coming out, and I had the flip out screen, and it was before they disabled all the stuff where you couldn't drive and watch movies at the same time. So,
A
of
lot of
course,
people did that stuff.
being
Oh
young
yeah.
and dumb, I of course had to do
I
it.
know. We think we're all rad at that point, and then somebody gets hurt.
Nobody said I was smart.
I'm still not smart.
I just fake it real good.
Yeah. I'm over 40, man. I still make stupid mistakes like if I was 20, but not as extreme. And that's the big thing. If you can make those mistakes but not make them very extreme, then you're golden.
If you make mistakes that are too extreme now, you just break bones. So
You can definitely blow a hip real quick.
that wouldn't be good at all.
No, it definitely would not be. So yeah, we'll have something. Yeah, I'm looking at doing some guests and having people on. I don't know if we're going to do full video. We might do some YouTube stuff. We might not, but it should be entertaining to figure out how that works out.
Yeah, I kind of found that just recording the videos, recording the conversation and putting it on YouTube as well, the episodes actually do pretty well on YouTube, whether people are actually watching it or if they're just listening to it like in the background and just YouTube is their podcast player instead of some of the other stuff. They've been doing really good on watch time and kind of building up the YouTube. So
Awesome. No, I'm definitely going to look into it.
Yeah, good news. I mean, I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers now. I'm less than 50
really?
away. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, like
I just
4,954, I think, last time I checked.
Oh wow. Yeah, I just hit 194. Woohoo.
You'll get there. You got to release more videos.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, as we go on.
Have you done any more wheeling lately?
No, but surprisingly enough, this weekend I'm not necessarily wheeling, but I belong to the Road Legal 4-Wheel Drive Club, and they're doing trail ambassador training this weekend.
Oh, with Ryan Harding or something, right?
Yeah, with Ryan.
I've chatted with him a few times and kind of joined and stuff, but like it's not local. It's nothing local, so I can't really join him on anything unless I come out and visit you, and that'd be fun. We hit some trails out there.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come out.
Well,
we don't quarantine in the state of Wisconsin.
I was gonna say right now, if I leave New England, I wouldn't be able to go back to work for 2 weeks because they're
that's
like that.
Where's the negative in that?
Yeah,
you got 2 weeks. I
kind of need a paycheck. I would.
Paychecks are overrated.
I know. Maybe if YouTube becomes my job, which I would love for it to be eventually, then I could do that, and I wouldn't have to worry about the quarantine. But
you quarantine yourself inside the house with a whole bunch of Red Bull, and you're like, "Woo, let's get this done!"
Yes, I know. I got my. I don't know if you can see my Red Bull fridge there in the background. I just keep it off like 24/7 because it's one of the older ones. But if like I'm doing a podcast or something like this, it's extremely loud in the background.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it kicks on. I mean, it's not super loud, but it would destroy audio for like a podcast or something. So I'd like to get one of the newer ones that's quiet or like retrofit like a mini fridge or something. So if anyone's got Red Bull hookups,
just walk into a store and grab one.
Just walk out and rip the cord
out. Dump everything that's in it out, because then they would classify it as stealing merchandise.
Oh yeah,
if you just walk out with the refrigerator, you're not stealing from anybody really, because they just give those to. I used to work in retail and I used to work in grocery. So when they would bring those things in, a lot of times they would end up throwing them away. They wouldn't even take them back.
That's crazy because like those Red Bull fridges go for extremely high amounts of money. Like
Oh
three,
yeah,
$400. Like,
they sure do.
I'm like,
There was,
it's just a Red Bull fridge, but like,
yep. No, because when I worked at a grocery store, we had the, I don't know if you remember those old tubs. They would have like a 3 divider. You'd throw a bunch of
oh,
ice in it and throw a
yep,
soda in it. I got one of those. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna throw it away. And I'm like, what?
yeah,
So I took it home and I
what?
used it for a couple of years when I'd have parties. I'd be able to, okay, here's the alcohol, here's the soda, here's the water.
Yep,
And I would just fill it up. It was great.
yeah, that'd be perfect for a little party get together.
I mean, eventually I got rid of it because it just got old, but you would be blown away by how much stuff actually gets thrown out when the vendors bring stuff in. They just don't want it back.
Yeah, I mean, like, my wife worked at the liquor store for a little while, and they get rid of all the not booze, but like they'll get rid of old displays and stuff. And actually, but speaking of booze, like, I worked with a guy who used to work for the Budweiser company, and he would say, like, if the case had a little bit of, like, one can in the case had a dent, they couldn't sell it. So they'd have,
Yeah,
like,
it was damaged
any
goods.
any cases at the end of the day, they'd have in the back of their truck, and they'd be allowed to just take them home. So he said he had cases and cases of beer just sitting there.
Yeah, no,
Like,
we had the
that's
Red
not a
Bull guy,
problem.
same thing. The Red Bull guy, he would come in and be like, "Hey man, what do you got?" He goes, "I got a whole case that's all messed up."
Like,
And
I'll
you would
take
go
it.
out there to his truck and it would just be like minor dings and they would call that like major damage.
You're like, someone would still buy
I was
that.
like,
It's
"Okay,
not
can I
hurting
have
it.
right, can I have 4 of them?" He's like, "Here you go." I mean, I wouldn't ask for the whole case. I'd ask for a couple of them because he
Yeah.
would always do that with other places when he would visit them too. So, but yeah, no, it's you'd be blown away by how much stuff actually gets tossed out.
Yeah, I really need to kind of tame down energy and the
See,
energy. Yeah. Red Bull. Energy drinks. I mean, I only drink one a day, and I tend to stick to the sugar-free ones, so I'm not getting a bunch of just empty sugar calories, and sugar's
yeah,
bad for you anyway. But I like live on at least one a day, and like a cup of coffee or two.
a couple of years ago, I used to years ago I used to drink the full throttle, the not much of the Red Bull, but the Monster drinks.
Oh, those
And then there was
monster drinks
one,
are bad.
yeah, and then there was one other one, and I never can remember it because they don't make it anymore. And a couple of years ago, I tried a full throttle again. I nearly threw up because it was just
Okay.
way too sweet.
Yeah,
I couldn't take it. I'm like, it's a liquid sweet tart times 100.
you know it's really sweet, but they're good. Those Bang energy drinks. Have you had one of those?
No,
They're like 300 milligrams of caffeine, and they are super sweet. Some of them aren't as sweet as the other ones, but I really like them because they have like branched chain amino acids and all the supposed healthy stuff in them. So not as bad for you.
there's probably not even a 0.5% of it in there.
Yeah, I no, they actually have quite a bit.
Do
But
they
like,
really?
yeah, apparently, like, energy drinks really aren't that bad for you as long as you're not like overdosing on caffeine or something, and like uh tend to stick to the sugar-free ones. It's just like same as coffee, basically. I mean,
True. I do
there
like coffee.
there's that kind of like artificial sweetener kind of battle that a lot of people face, but I don't know. Something's gonna kill me eventually, so
Everything's gonna kill you.
especially
And
if you
that's
live in California. All the warning labels say, "Hey, if you're in California, this causes cancer." So
oh yeah. The
apparently,
air you breathe causes
Californians,
cancer. You're done.
yeah, they're really susceptible to cancer in California. Apparently,
That's why I'll never move there or ever visit. It's one
I would
state I'm good with.
I would visit. My uncle lives out there, and like some of the northern parts and stuff are kind of more like us here in New England. Just lots of hills and trees and mountains and stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind that, but I wouldn't want to go anywhere near like San Francisco and stuff. Maybe to visit once just to say I've been there, kind of thing. But
I'd only fly over it and say I flew over it.
isn't that where all the homeless people are taking dumps in the street too? They were
You
having a
know,
big problem there, I think.
I don't travel. I don't travel much and I don't watch the news a whole lot. Um Sorry, apparently I'm important that somebody is texting me.
Not now. We're doing a podcast, people.
Well, all I hear is, buzz, 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 buzz.
You're like,
So,
geez, what's going on?
yeah. No, no. Have you voted yet? I have. You should vote again. No, I shouldn't.
I am just sick of seeing that every time I go on Facebook, that little ding at the top of the screen. It's like, have you registered to vote yet? Or get your absentee
Happens
ballot.
on Instagram too. Yeah.
Yep.
No, well, I think I said this last time. I got rid of Facebook, and I've been happy ever since.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't understand.
I forgot you got rid of that.
I don't understand why people torture themselves with certain things. And I think Facebook is one of those that people torture themselves way too much with.
I think it's a lot of like social media in general is that though, but like I'm kind of the view of you're gonna see what you put into it. Like if you're looking for just Jeep stuff, that's what you're gonna get out. You're gonna get more Jeep stuff. But if you're looking at like negative stuff, news stuff, like yeah, you're gonna see all that crap filtered into your news feed. But
all the crap your family posts that you don't want to, so you just unfollow them.
Yeah,
you can't unfamily them.
No, but you can definitely unfollow them. Like you should definitely try to cut as much negativity out of your life as you can, because it's just gonna make you a happier person.
Oh, absolutely. So, but I guess we'll get back to I don't even know how we got all the way over to this part of the warehouse.
That's what this podcast is about. Like my mind is so ADD, I can go on tangents and.
Oh yeah, I'm like a raccoon if I see shiny things.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah,
so hopefully people enjoy it.
But so yeah, this weekend we're doing the ambassador training, our trail ambassador training. So that's not like a full weekend, but it's most of the weekend. And then I just signed up for the advanced course that's happening in March of next year. Let's hope
it's really cool that they do that. I think that's a really neat idea.
Yeah. The only real requirement is, you have to patrol, or they call it patrol. They also call it another word, but check the trails. You need to, make sure that they're passable and that nobody's, breaking into the ones that are locked. No one's, being a jerk and they're tearing them up. So it's a required 8 hours when you're part of the ambassador program, which is cool. Because then you get out and wheel.
We kind of do that anyway when we're like if we're gonna lead a trail run. Usually a couple people that are gonna kind of help lead it will go out and make sure there's no downed trees, especially if it's a larger group. You don't want to hold up a group, and I think that's kind of one topic I want to kind of divert this conversation to too. Is like if you're gonna go on a trail ride, make sure your rig is semi ready to like be on the trail. Make sure it's not going to break down like 30 feet into the trail, especially if you're going with a large group.
Well, and not only that, but you need to make sure yourself mentally is prepared, because there are those. I mean, when we went out in July and we're going to the same place, the Camp Sinawa up in Velders, Wisconsin, and for the training. And when we went out, they were saying that the water table hadn't been that high in over I can't remember was it over 30 years or something.
Wow.
So when they originally had watched the trail or checked the trail, they seemed okay, but then we got a whole lot of rain, which then caused weird issues. And then they tried to make a bypass while we were in a group. Well, when they made the bypass, because it was so soggy, even that was a bit challenging with the bypass. And it's preparing yourself to understand that when you go out on the trail, you're going to be waiting at times. I mean, understand you're not going to just blow through all these trails. There are those where you're going to be like, crud, I'm going to be sitting here for 20 minutes. Just prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot with large groups. I mean, personally, I've been with large groups, small groups. I'd rather stay like in that, I don't know, like 10 Jeep, or not even Jeep, but like 10 rig range compared to like 30, or I've been like 40, 50 rigs on a trail, and that just, it makes it real difficult.
I mean, at that point, the only one good thing is if you're making YouTube content, you've got plenty of stuff that you can record if you've got that many rigs.
Yeah, but the only problem with that too is like, especially if you're helping lead or you're at the beginning of the trail, like you're running back and forth like 900 times
True.
up and down the trail to try to capture them going up the obstacle. And then some people get bored. They don't want to sit there that long. They just want to kind of follow the next guy. And so anywhere I can that I'm wheeling with a couple of my friends or something, I'll be like, here, take this extra camera, take this GoPro to try to get a few extra angles or someone going up a different part of the trail. So
especially if they get lucky and they get something that you didn't even know was happening until later.
Yeah, like someone rolls or something and be like, oh, I was down at the bottom of the trail, so I wouldn't have got that. But
right.
I mean, it was really lucky. I just recently had Nate SWB Crawler come up to New Hampshire, and we wheeled together, and we made collab videos, and it was really cool because two YouTubers with the same like kind of idea of what we want to do and what we want to get, we could like really plan out our shots, and we had multiple angles and like 4 cameras at a time going, so it was really fun.
Yeah, I know you both you guys released videos, and I keep seeing it showing up going like, hey, have you watched this yet? And it's like, no. And then every time I go to watch it, something else
Watch
happens.
me.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that I need to, get back on there and watch. But I've been watching a bunch of other stuff. I'm trying to stay away from the political crap right now, but there's just so much stuff that's dropping at the moment that it's sucking you in. So I don't want to get all political, but I'm getting sucked into some of it.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of like deer hunting videos, tips and tricks, because it's becoming deer season pretty quickly here. Muzzleloader starts on the 31st of October here. So
yeah, my brother-in-law's been hunting here in Wisconsin. He does bow hunting and gun hunting. So
you get pretty big deer up there,
right? I would say yes, more north than where I am because I'm closer to Milwaukee. But if you start going more north, let's say like Rylander, Crandon, and there's probably some other spots that are lower than way up there. But yeah, no, they can get quite big. And they entertainingly can destroy your vehicle, even if it's only a 6-point buck.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
I've crashed through cars through that. I destroyed 2 vehicles with 6-point bucks.
That's horrible because you don't get to eat that most of the time unless it's like
the first one decent. I was able to.
Oh yeah,
surprisingly enough.
If you don't like completely destroy it by hitting it, then you can save it. But a lot of times that's not the case, or it'd be the big buck you're chasing or something, and you just happen to hit it with your car instead of shooting it. So it's like takes all the fun out of it. I know this. Yeah. I've been told this story a bunch of times. These people were chasing this buck around us locally, like a bunch of times every season. They'd see the sheds off it, the shed antlers, and progressively getting bigger each year. And then one year it just gets hit by a car right on the road there, and it's like it destroyed all the hopes and dreams of ever getting that deer.
I can see that one hunter just dropping to his knees going, why?
No. You go out hunting at all, or?
No, I haven't. I only hunted with vehicles.
That's
I take the easy way out. I know. It's the lazy way.
You just got to get like a big bull bar so you don't completely destroy your rig.
Well, I haven't hit anything with the Jeep, so thank goodness. It was an 89 S10 Chevy Blazer was the first one, destroyed the Blazer with a 6-point buck. And the officer that was there, he's like, man, you could have really said that buck was probably, even though he had 6 points, he was so big that he's like, that was on a cusp of, being an 8-pointer kind of deal. I guess the officer that came out, he was a hunter, and he's like, oh, it's so, such a nice looking deer.
Such a shame you had to take it away. Yeah.
Well, what was nice is I hit it just right that I didn't really damage much of the meat. So Perfect. I was able to take that in. It was the first time I really experienced, well, first of all, gutting a deer.
Yep.
So I brought it home. It was Halloween. I was going over to a friend's house for a Halloween party. Called my buddy up. And I was like, oh, dude, you have no idea what I just did. And
you come up to a Halloween party with blood all over your vehicle.
Yeah. So then two other buddies, they heard it, what was going on. They came out and to my house. And at that time, I mean, this was years ago. So I was living with my folks, and my dad used to work second shift. And he came driving up into the driveway on his motorcycle. And I've got this deer hanging from the garage ceiling. And I had just gutted the deer.
It's
Never done it
awesome.
before. I was like, and everybody's like, okay, be careful. Don't cut the sack. And I was like, what? I'm thinking ball sack, right?
Nope.
I'm like, why would I cut that? That's weird. They're like, no, the stomach sack. You'll ruin every bit of the meat if you do that. And I was like, okay. And I'm standing there with this knife going, great. I'm going to cut the sack as soon as I do this. I know it's going to happen. But they're like, oh, because I was like, oh, and I was trying to hand the knife over to another buddy. He's like, nope, it's your kill, man. You got to do it. It's
your kill.
The rite of passage, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. So I ended up gutting the deer. I did a really good job of it too. They even said, because both of them had been hunting before.
Right.
And they're like, wow, you did a really decent job. So my other buddy, the one that I was originally going to go over to his house for, the next day he comes over and he's like, dude, let's take this in and get some meat done. And I was like, okay, where am I taking it? He goes, I know this perfect spot. So it was a town over from us, close to Lake Michigan. And I took it there, and he wanted half the deer, and I took the other half. So my half was completely venison sticks with pork. And he had some little bit of venison sticks, but he wanted the steaks instead. He was more interested in that. So by the time they were done and I came home, I came home and my parents had a huge deep freeze. They still have it. And I had like 30 or 40 packs of the venison sticks. That's how big the deer actually was, that I had so much stuff.
That's delicious. You're making me hungry just talking about it.
It was very delicious. My dad would go up he'd go, hey, can I take a pack to work? I was like, yeah, that's fine.
I recently had bear sausage for the first time. I guess there was some other stuff mixed in with it, of course, to make the sausage, but it was primarily out of bear meat, and I never had bear before, and it was delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
I had alligator once, and that was the most disgusting thing ever.
Fishy
it was slimy.
tasting?
It was slimy.
Huh.
So we were at the Wisconsin State Fair. This was years ago, back when my wife and I were either just first dating or just married. And the guy's like, oh, you want to try some alligator? I was like, I'll try it. I'm a fat guy. I'll try some stuff.
I'll try it.
And I bit into it. And it was just so slimy. And I like almost threw up.
Oh.
It was so, I just threw it away. And I was like, dude, that is disgusting. And he just gave me a look like I totally insulted him. I'm like, you've just insulted like my entire being by having me bite into this stuff.
It's not like the chocolate deep fried Oreos or something.
No.
Those are delicious.
At least that. I've never had them. I've heard they're delicious though.
Oreos are my downfall. That and ice cream.
Are they?
Yeah. Oreos. I've tried almost every single flavor, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Or any ones at least that have come in the store by me.
Wow.
I at least give them a shot.
So do you get like those like quadruple stuffed ones?
I usually like if I'm going for like just your normal run of the mill Oreo, you have to do double stuff. I don't know who's buying single stuff anymore, but they're psychopaths.
Well, I thought there was one that was like triple stuffed, or is that like something that they only do in certain seasons?
Yeah, you're right. There was like a triple or quadruple stuff or something. That was almost too much frosting, if that can be a thing. Like it's just
things are like this big or something. I can't remember.
It's like sickly sweet almost. So
you're like, cookie, whatever. Let's take the inside.
What cookie?
Yeah, I'm gonna make some hot chocolate and throw it in there.
Oh, now I want some Oreos. Why are we talking about food?
We're Americans. We love food.
I know, and I'm trying to eat healthier, trying to work out a little bit more. I mean, I
sorry to hear that.
Go on my run. I go on my run.
My condolences to your stomach.
I know. Like, I mean, I'm not depriving myself. So if I want like some ice cream or something, I'll do it. But like, I've been running, lifting weights, and so majority of the meals I tend to try to eat a little healthier.
Just a little.
A little bit. I want to live to see my 40th birthday. So
it's not all that it's cracked up to be. It's just you're a little older, maybe a little wiser. Probably not.
Well, I got a few years to get up to there, so I'll be 30,
well, lucky you.
32 in January. So
oh, I got almost 10 years on you.
Yeah,
you whippersnapper.
You young whippersnappers.
It's so funny because I'll have people say, "Oh, you're still a young pup." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? At the age of 41, I'm still a young pup? And what the heck are you?"
Yeah, what are you, a dinosaur? Like,
yeah, I mean, how old are you? You don't look like you're 100, but is that what you're acting like if I'm a young pup?
Because I think like 40 is like, I mean, still young. Like, because 50 I would consider kind of middle age, because most people are living till at least their 80s, if not into 90s and hundreds now. And
yeah,
modern
we're living
medicine,
way too long.
Yeah, modern medicine will probably be cyborgs before long. So,
you know, as much as I tell people, I'm like, I don't want to live that long. you know, I mean, how many people do you know once they hit a certain age? I mean, they're alive, that, they see family and all that, but there isn't a whole lot for them to really do because they're in a certain state,
or their brain's just gone. Like,
yeah,
if my brain was fully there and they could put me in a like cyborg body or something, I'd be all for it.
Like Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, it'd just be like, but keeping your mind sharp is a big thing. I mean, I dabble with nootropics. I don't know if you know what those are, but
never heard of it.
They're supplements you can take to kind of help increase your cognitive ability.
I didn't know you were going to say cognitive.
Smart people word. That's my $5 word right there.
I thought it was going to be another C word.
No. I don't dare take any of those pills. Like I've seen a million of those online, and I wouldn't even know what they put in those. And I don't want my junk to explode.
I'm sure your wife doesn't either.
No, that'd be miserable. But these pills are supposed to, they have certain ingredients in them, and they're kind of, I don't know, some people like them, some people don't. It's kind of hit or miss. It's kind of like people who take mushrooms and stuff, not necessarily like the psychedelic ones, but ones to help you, help your like different parts of your body and stuff. And some people are for it and some people are against it. And I just think there's a lot of good science pointing to how good these things are for you.
One thing when you get older that I'm always into is anything that can help you poop better.
Yes. Coffee.
Once you get older,
coffee always helps.
I've never had that happen. Usually that gives me a little bit of gut rot.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody's chemical makeup is different.
Yeah, like usually in the morning, I'll like go on my morning run, have my cup of coffee, and by the time I get to work, better watch out.
You're already on break.
I poop on company time.
Hey, this is paid poop time.
You got to have paid poop time.
Absolutely.
People are going to be like, what the hell? This is an off-road podcast or Jeep podcast, and we're talking about poop.
I've always wondered, what's it? And I haven't experienced this because I haven't been off-road as much as a lot of people. What is it like being on the trails? And for guys going pee, we just find a bush or a tree and we go.
Right.
But pooping outside just seems like kind of like weird to me.
It sucks. I mean, I haven't done it like on the trail, but I've been out hunting and needed to poop. And like, it's just like you have to find a good spot to like balance on a tree or something, and then just make sure you're not crapping on your pants. And if it's like, a lot of times when I'm hunting, it's cold out, so I don't want to hang out there. I want to get my business done.
Yeah, because I was looking last year. We were going to do the Badlands, and it didn't happen. But I was looking at those, like bucket toilets you bring with you. Or
it's like a 5-gallon bucket, and you put the toilet seat on it. Yeah,
yeah. And then my brother-in-law actually my sister-in-law's like, oh, you could go for one of those things that attaches to the trailer hitch and it's a toilet seat. Just go right there. And I was like, they make those? She's like,
Yep.
yeah. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Imagine being on the trail, sitting on the back of your vehicle, taking a big mondo dump, and someone just happens to drive on past. What do? Just
howdy,
wave?
neighbor.
I dug a hole first.
Yeah, like the whole bucket thing. Like, what do you do with it though?
Well, apparently with
You
the
just
one
carry
that I
around
found,
a stinky bucket.
Yeah, so you've got like this chemical. It's like a powder that you dump into it, and then it turns it into a gel.
Huh.
But I don't know how it does it for the logs. I could see
what
it
gel
doing
pens are made out of.
I don't know. It's just so weird.
Yeah, like I don't know. One of our we have an employee appreciation event every year at work. One of the top prizes that everyone likes or seems to like, or at least thinks it's funny, is the heated toilet seats.
Really?
They raffle off at least a couple of those a year, and it's pretty funny. I'm like, that would be wonderful in the middle of winter. It's like, oh, the seat's already warmed up for me.
So that's an in-house or
that's
an in-house seat?
I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's like battery powered or what, but maybe you could rig it up to bring it with you. Plug it into a cigarette lighter. I know they've got
those seats that light up and everything. You can change them different colors.
Oh, like, those ones where you're peeing at night and it has the
night light in it.
Night light, so you don't pee on the seat.
But it's like they've got ones I think you have multicolor. It's like what? You just sit there while you're doing your business and you're using your phone to change the color.
Just imagine you're drunk or something and it starts changing colors. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, like, why is this changing colors?
This is taking me a long time. I just want to change the color to red. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Let's change it to blue or fireball fuchsia.
And there goes your phone in the toilet.
Pretty much.
That would be my luck.
I've had a few family members, for whatever reason, they like to put their phone in their back pocket. So when they're going to do their business, it falls out of the back pocket right into the toilet. I'd be like, that, if it happens once, okay, fine, whatever. But if you let it happen a second time, you didn't learn the first time.
You didn't learn anything.
Yeah, you don't deserve a phone.
Yeah,
you didn't.
My wife does that. She'll put it in her back pocket, but I'm pretty sure she at least takes it out beforehand just so it doesn't do that. But I don't trust myself. I mean, I crack all of my phone screens anyway. That's why
you really?
Yeah. Well, not the screen itself, but those protectors that you can have.
Tempered glass.
Yeah, I
have yet to crack a screen or a tempered glass yet.
I mean,
I've dropped my Galaxy S10 all the time, and I'm waiting for these one time, where I'm just gonna cry because I'm gonna be like, now I'm gonna have to send it in.
Yeah, luckily those tempered glass ones like protect it, like even when they're cracked. It's amazing. I mean, I break mine all the time because I'm like out working on the Jeep or something. I'll have it in my pocket, or I work in the steel warehouse at work, and I like press up against something, and it sucks. I have to carry two phones at work. One's the work phone, and other's my personal phone. So expands my pocket quite a bit.
Do you put them in the same pocket?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a nightmare.
What's that bulge in your pocket? Oh, it's just my phones.
Hold on, let me make a call.
Buzz.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, so, it like literally stretches out my jeans, and I have like an indent like spot. You can see where I put my phones every time.
So you see where, the jeans, it's got like the white, kind of like the dye has worn off.
Yep.
Exactly. I never understood how that I never had that happen, not even with my wallets. I'd have sometimes like really thick wallets, and it never happened with the jeans I wore.
Are you a front wallet person or like a back
back. Unless I'm like in big crowds, then it's a front.
I used to be a back, and then I learned like on long like trips, like long car rides and stuff, if you keep it in your back pocket, it can actually like throw off your hips, and it can put your back out of whack. So and like I was kind of having issues with that when I was visiting my wife in college. She went to college in Long Island, so it was like a 5-hour drive from New Hampshire. And so I started putting it in the front pocket, and then I learned, oh, it's harder to pickpocket in the front pocket. So I'm like, I just kind of stuck with it there.
See, if I do long trips, I'll take the wallet completely out and I'll put it in the dash.
I'm always afraid of losing my wallet. So like when I'm leaving the house in the morning, I like tap my pockets to make sure I have everything that I need. I'm like, yep, wallet,
Who
okay,
doesn't
cell
do
phone,
that?
keys. Like
Yep.
it's like the ritual. It's like you're doing the Macarena just to leave the
But I
house.
mean, when I'm in the vehicle, if I'm doing long trips, I'll just pull it out, put it up in the dash, slide it, because I know it's there. Especially if you have to go through like a drive-through for something. Instead of
Yeah.
trying to dig, regardless if it's the front or the back pocket, it's such a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Me, right there, like that.
Yeah, I was trying to get mine out. Well, because
See?
when I'm sitting down, it's more difficult, but I also have my knife in there. But I have one of the Travax wallets. It's like a leather wallet, but it's got the metal and it's got like the RFID resistant coating. And I love Travax stuff. Like it's a minimalistic wallet and all your cards in one spot and any cash and a little money clip in the back. I
What's
love
cash? Never heard of it.
Yeah. I was talking to someone at work today, and I think we're going to go to a cashless society. As much as a lot of people don't like it, I think we're headed that way.
Oh, eventually, yeah. No doubt. I mean, it's funny because I'll look at my wallet sometimes and I usually don't have cash on me. I'll be like, oh, there's $5 in here.
Yeah,
when did that happen? Awesome. And then I just let it sit in there and I forget about it again. Now I wish I could leave that $5 in my pocket and I would just, make interest within my pocket.
Right.
Because it's been in there how long? I don't know.
I always keep a $2 bill in my wallet, just because they're kind of rare, especially nowadays. And like my dad and his dad like always had one in their wallet, and you can never be kicked out of a place for like a store for loitering if you have cash, because you can be like, oh well, I might buy something. I mean, I don't think they do that as much anymore, but
no. So I can't remember how long ago this was. It was a while back. I was reading an article. Guy went into a Taco Bell at a food court, pulled out a $2 bill, tried to buy his Taco Bell. He just wanted like a taco and a drink.
Yep.
And they ended up calling security on the guy,
saying that he had a
Yeah. What? So the security guy gets there, looks at it, looks at the manager and goes, that's real, right?
Yeah. And for anyone who's going to be watching this podcast and doesn't know what a $2 bill looks like, that's, if this will focus maybe.
Little focus factor.
Yeah, there we go.
I have one too.
$2 bill. And it's kind of cool. It's got the whole like signing of the Declaration on the
and I thought that they took all of them and had destroyed those years ago, but they're definitely still floating around.
Yeah, this one says 1976, so been around a while. My mom works at the bank, so she sees lots of cool stuff like that all the time,
like the $500 bills she just wants to hand to you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Be like, I need to make a withdrawal. I don't have any money, but I want a withdrawal.
I can't remember where we were, but they had the $2 bill, and the person behind the counter knew exactly what it was because an older individual at the time.
Yeah.
And he was giving me change. I was like, dude, I'll take the $2 bill. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
Something that you don't see. And my kids didn't believe me that $2 bills were real. And I showed them. They're like, no. And I'm like, no, it's real.
I wonder how many are still in circulation.
That's a good question. I don't even know if you can look that stuff up and find out what's in circulation anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, how would you get an accurate count? Like, somebody could be squirreling 100 of them away.
I think they need to serial numbered.
Yeah, I think they need to bring it back. $2
Oh,
bill.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Like, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, yeah, I could use a $2 bill.
I'd love to get a bunch of them. And then walk into a place and just like try to buy stuff and they think it's all counterfeit, because that guy ended up getting his lunch for free, his soda and his taco, and he got like a free burrito out of it.
Well, yeah, because they're being They
Yeah,
call security and stuff.
uneducated.
Wait, you said they called security? They have security at Taco Bell?
No, it was like one of those food courts in a mall.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah, I know.
since when does Taco Bell have security?
I guess it depends
Unhand
upon
the
where you are.
chalupa.
Put the quesadilla down.
I'm gonna run across the border.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Well, to get back onto the Jeep and off-roading scenario, that can kind of transition because we keep bringing up the topic of food. Have you ever had trail burritos?
I have not.
They're a wonderful concoction. You can put like anything you want in them, and especially on like the older Cherokees and stuff, any of the things that engines that get kind of hot, you wrap it in tinfoil and you put it in your engine bay somewhere where it's not going to fall out or get a bunch of stuff on it. I mean, it's covered in the aluminum foil. And then by the time you hit the end of the trail, your engine's warm, it cooks the burrito. And it's delicious.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I was watching. That might have been Tammy from Jeep Mama. That was a while back. She had like a Sammy or something that she had underneath the hood when they were on the trail.
I want to make a new series now. That just made me think of a new YouTube series called like Cooking in the Jeep, or I don't know,
like
what's under what's under your grill or something, or but it'd be a Jeep grill instead.
Like hood food, like
hood
Jeep
food.
Hood food.
We got to have some kind of catchy title, and then have.
All right, what do you got underneath there? You got a whole roasted pig?
What? It'd be cool to have like people send in recipes too, and I could try them and then like sample them at the end of the trail and be like, this was garbage, I don't know who sent this in, or this was great, like thank you for sending this in, or that kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty rad.
Making me hungry just thinking about it. What do you usually bring on the trail for
beef
snacks?
Jerky.
Beef jerky?
Beef jerky, water.
Water's a big one. I've been way too many times. Like I'll bring a Gatorade too, just because you lose so much sweat. Yeah.
Sitting in the Jeep, you lose what?
You get sweaty, especially when your AC. Yeah, when your AC doesn't work.
Your AC doesn't work?
Well, it for a while I couldn't run it. It runs, but it would overheat my Jeep every time I run it. So that was before I installed the transmission cooler. Now they have the transmission cooler, I can, but I don't always like to run it. Sometimes I just like to have the windows down, or if I have the doors off or something and it's hot and you're sweating to death.
True. We were on the trail, my son and I, and it was getting humid out. I had the windows down and I turned on the AC, and you could tell the big difference between inside the Jeep and outside the Jeep. And then all of a sudden, all this moisture started working its way around the vents. And I was like, I'm comfortable. I don't care.
Yep.
But as soon as you got out of the Jeep, you're just like, woo, I'm peeling the shirt off now.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people that'll have like the AC like the windows down and the AC on at the same time. Just
I used to be when I was younger. I would have windows down and the heat blasting.
Yeah, I'll do that in the winter. It's just like you get that good middle temperature.
Oh, yeah. Dude, once you switch from one season to the next, it's so hard to get your body to adjust.
Oh, it
takes forever. And then by the time you're adjusted, all of a sudden the season's changing on you, and you're like, come on.
Yeah, well, like up here in New England, it could be like 30 degrees in the morning and then like 60 degrees in the afternoon, especially around now.
Yep.
Fall kind of weather, confusing up here. I mean, like in northern parts of New Hampshire, we had like 5 inches of snow this past weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah, like up in Littleton, New Hampshire, I saw they got like 5 inches of snow they had to plow.
Wow. Yeah, they're expecting like, I think it was 3 to 6 inches north of where I am in the next couple of days or by the weekend.
I'm not ready for it. I don't want salt on the roads.
I'm never ready for snow. I always say, if during Christmas that week it just drops a couple of feet, make it a white Christmas. Then once the new year starts, have 1 week of negative 70, whatever. And then after that, just have the rest of it in the mid 50s.
I mean, I don't mind the snow. It's the salt they put on the roads. Like, I don't mind driving in it. I don't mind.
I hate shoveling it.
Yeah, I have a snowblower, but I still
do
don't
too.
like to. Like,
but
especially after like a 12-hour day at work or something, coming home late at night, snow blowing in the dark or something. It's no fun.
It's the worst.
Because it's always dark in the winter.
Right. I mean, last year it would snow every other day, and it was a couple of inches, but it wasn't enough for me to waste the snowblower gas.
Yeah, no. Do you like snow wheeling?
I haven't been snow wheeling yet.
It's definitely interesting. It's different. I haven't gone enough to kind of make up my mind on it. I like it some because it adds a different kind of challenge and makes some of the easier trails more difficult. So I kind of like that aspect of it. But I'm not completely sold on it being cold all the time, especially trying to film it. It gets real cold. You want to have good boots.
Yeah, I've got to find my boots for this weekend because it's supposed to be raining and cold. I don't even know where they are.
That's how it is here right now. I don't like the cold, rainy disgustingness.
See, I don't like the cold, but I don't mind it. And the reason why I don't mind it is you can just put layers on.
Yeah, you can't take layers off in the summer.
Well, you can, but then how many layers can you take off before it becomes inappropriate and you really can't go around and do anything?
Yeah, fall has to be my favorite time of year for wheeling, for just going outside, just doing anything. Just put a sweatshirt on and great camping weather. I love it.
So I had said it earlier. Now, I don't know if Mr. Moose Knuckle earlier had shown you this during his, but if he did, I totally missed it, and that's on me. But I got sent a pretty cool prototype that actually can function.
He actually sent you a prototype too. He did show me that.
He did. He showed you the Mohawk?
He did show me it, but it was I think it was a plastic prototype when he showed me.
This one's real. He said pull away. He said I could use it. Yeah. It's made out of 6061 aluminum, I think he said.
That's awesome.
Actually, let me double check because he sent me. Where's the message from him?
I think I need one of those in the back of the new Raptor.
There you go. Yeah, he said it's machined from 6061 aluminum. So he's like, pull away. So then he sent me a couple. I've actually got all of the moose knuckle colors. He sent them to me.
Ooh, all of the colors.
Some stuff. Oh yeah,
all of the colors.
you want to know how heavy that box is?
I can imagine.
Actually, there was 2 boxes.
I was gonna say I got like 6 of them, and that box was heavy. Yeah.
It's an O-ring buster.
Ones. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's pretty neat. But he's asked me to do a couple of things, and I'm gonna do that. And I'm thinking about, not sure yet, but I might give a bunch of them away.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because I have a bunch of them, and since I'm getting close to 5,000 subscribers, I'm thinking I need a 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So have to give away some of those. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give away something else, like something fancy. Maybe I can work out a deal with like Yes Welder to give away a welder. That would be cool.
Could you just say that I won, and you could just give it to me?
You can get a discount. Use code the Bearded Jeeper.
95% off. Okay.
I wish my discount was that awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome. I mean, it's 10% off, so you get.
I'm not ready for a welder yet. I've still got to redo some stuff with my garage. I need to get a new fuse panel in the house, and
your garage looks way better than my garage. You've seen my garage.
I know, and we talk.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, I talk about all the time about burning that thing down.
Yeah, well, I'm putting a wood stove in it.
Hey, is your insurance gonna still cover you?
I'm not gonna mention it.
Okay, because I talked to my insurance broker, and they told me if I put one in, the insurance company would drop me, and nobody would insure me anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
what they
think
don't
about
know, don't hurt them.
just
They're listening to the podcast.
don't post any pictures. Well, and I never asked them. I was like, I wonder if they would say the same thing if you put the um, pellet, because I was going to do a pellet stove. If you put it
Yeah.
outside of the garage, and then just pipe the heat in.
I mean, I don't understand why it's different. I've seen people with them in their garage before,
Yeah.
like pellet stoves,
Well,
wood
they're in their
stoves, used
basements.
oil stoves. Like, yeah, like
And how many people store crap in their basement that's flammable?
exactly. And like, I'm gonna do it legit. I'm gonna put like the shielding around it, and I'm gonna put the proper like chimney pipe and everything. Like, it's gonna have a legit little chimney and everything. So it should
Yeah, I mean,
be
you would
safe.
think, in my opinion, if you do it and their stipulation is you have to have a professional install it and then we'll insure you without any problems. But if you personally install it and you're not an authorized or
You're not a
certified,
chimney specialist or
yeah,
something.
if you're not certified, then yeah, you're screwed. Your insurance, you're done. But if you have somebody who professionally installs these, they're certified, they're insured, they've done all the training, whatever, do it, then they should be like, yeah, that's fine. Because we have the documentation that you just didn't run over to Home Depot, grab a bunch of PVC piping, and throw a pellet stove in your garage.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it helps too that my garage is detached. Isn't yours attached to your house?
Mine is attached, correct?
So I wonder if that makes a difference because it's
It's
so close
possible,
to your living quarters.
but
I
then
don't
the
know.
same
I,
thing
I
should be
haven't
said.
asked, but it's gonna be like the kind of hush quiet until it gets me
Not
into something.
anymore.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
doubt
Brian.
yeah, I doubt the insurance people are gonna listen to the podcast or watch my YouTube videos. So I think I'm good. Well, you never know.
Good. Yeah. Like, dude,
Well,
I'm such a huge fan, but we can't insure you anymore.
yeah,
What
all
do
of a
you
sudden
mean?
I get a phone call like I, I forget who I have for insurance, like Allstate or something. Is it no Progressive? I have Progressive with Flow, and they
I've got a local company, so I've always, and that was a couple years ago when I called them up and asked them about that. I've always
yeah
wanted to call them up again and go, hey, are they still saying that this is a no go?
yeah we have a local insurance center that they basically do they search and get you the best rate. So like we did have a different. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we
the
had.
insurance brokers.
Yeah, like we had like I don't know, State Farm or something before that, or maybe it was Allstate before, and now we have Progressive, and I don't know. It's cool. The one in town at least is like, hey, we just found you a deal, and it gets you. You don't have to pay as much. I'm like, sweet. And like I wasn't expecting it. I didn't have to do anything. They're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
just sign this new thing, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, crap. You just reminded me as we're talking about insurance. So I had my old 2000, 2005 Dodge Grand Caravan. I had to junk it recently, and that
Uh,
gave me $370. But I never called up the insurance company to tell them I no longer have it.
so it's still on your insurance.
Yeah, but it's only liability, so it's not that expensive. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to email them now or call them up and say, oh, by the way, I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, once I got the new truck, I kept for right now at least I'm keeping the Wrangler on the insurance coverage, and I guess we'll see how it is. I still have full coverage on it.
I'll probably never take full coverage off my Wrangler just because.
Yeah, you never know going down the road, you get death wobble and
Yeah, I mean,
smash into a moose
yeah, you never know.
or his knuckle.
Ha ha!
Ah,
See what you did there. Yeah, my
fancy.
my parents were driving back from I think it was Oneida Bingo, uh, Oneida County, I should say.
Yeah.
And my dad has a 2000, crap, what year was it? He's got an Expedition, and they were driving down the road, and he's like, man, the truck all of a sudden started giving me all kinds of weird problems. There was just like grinding, and the truck was fishtailing everywhere. He found out that like the bearings in the back had all just basically destroyed themselves,
Ooh.
and the wheel, the axle not the housing, but the axle shaft and everything was starting to move its way out while they were driving down the road at like 60 plus.
Oh, so the inner C-clip must have busted, and
Yeah.
that only happens with the C-clip axles. They
So,
start
but
wandering out.
he's like, yeah, no, we got lucky, nothing happened. And I was like, dang.
I've
That's
seen that
just
on the trails, and then they have to like strap a some kind of log they find to the sides of the Jeeps just to be able to keep the axle until they get off the trail.
really.
Yeah, they'll literally strap a log around it just to keep it in place, because it's all you can do unless you want to right there drop drain all your diff fluid, pull out your axles, like put a new C-clip in. Like,
You mean like you trying to do that in the woods?
I was gonna, we were all set to do that, the axle swap in the middle of the woods, but I really didn't want to, because it was cold and dark and stuff. So I'm grateful that they were able to drag my ass out of there.
That's one thing I hope I never have happen to me, but I'm sure it will, is, a
Break
hardcore
something.
break on the trail and then being dragged out.
Yeah,
It's a way of passage, I guess.
yeah, I was gonna say you'll probably have it eventually. Like, I think anyone that gets into wheeling enough and doesn't just hit like the bunny slope trails, you're gonna probably eventually break something that you have to either get drug out of the woods or have like limp it out of the woods, basically limp it back to your trailer, or hopefully you have a trailer and don't have to drive it home.
No, I don't have a trailer,
That's
but I
the
was
one
looking
thing
at
I'm
getting a
looking
pickup.
for.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
don't you build your own trailer? You got the welder.
I don't trust myself welding that much yet. I
I was like,
I'm looking for just a cheap, like, normal car trailer, double axle. They go from anywhere from 1,500 to $4,000 or so. That's what at least around me, that's what I've been seeing them.
yeah, you could always find yourself one that, like needs, if it has wood on it and the wood's kind of rotted out and it's kind of like,
Yeah,
you
that's
could,
what I've been searching for. I think the lowest I've seen is like $800, but it was more of like almost like one of those used equipment trailers, like one of the kind of heavy duty yellow ones. And
okay.
my truck really doesn't have a huge tow rating, so I'd rather kind of stick to a lighter
Really?
trailer. Yeah,
I thought
like,
those had big tow ratings.
no, because the V8 can handle it, but the suspension's so soft from the Fox shocks and the Fox suspension, like, that it's not. If you have too much weight on it, it sags.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rear end will start to sag, and you can ruin your shocks and stuff. So mine specifically is only rated for 6,000 pounds.
Oh,
The full four-door is rated for 8,000 pounds. But
well, 6,000 pounds is still better than 4,000.
yeah, I mean, I figure that should be enough. If I get a light trailer, I should be able to throw my Cherokee on and shouldn't have any issues.
Wait, the JK's, it's 35. It's 3,500, right?
The JKs are?
Yeah, for when towing.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think it's 3,500.
Probably
Because I was
the
getting,
probably the JKU, the four-door, probably has a greater towing than the regular JK. So maybe it's like 3,500 for the four-door and 3,000 for the two-door.
I don't know. I'd have to double check. Now I want to check.
Yeah, now you got me curious. I'd like to know too. How much will a JK tow? I wouldn't
On
trust mine.
average, yeah, on average, the towing capacity of a Jeep Wrangler is 2,000 pounds. Some models can tow more, especially the four-door. Let's see here. Let's bring up the whole information.
It's probably different years and different engines, and
Yeah.
I wonder if the diesel tows more. That'd be a question to ask Mr. Casey 250.
I thought he said it might have been the same.
Really? Even with the diesel?
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see if the diesel Gladiator will be able to tow more than the 7,000. Or is it 6?
No, I think those are 8,000 or more. Because it's the same frame as the Ram 1500.
So the 2-door models can tow up to 2,000, and the 4-door models can tow up to 3,500.
That's
for the JKs.
That's a decent little trailer, like a little lawn trailer or something, 4-wheeler or something.
Oh yeah, here's
small
the
pop-up
Gladiators.
Camper.
Oh yeah, the Gladiator 7,650.
Yeah, so probably I would think the diesel would have to be at least 8,000.
Well, let's see if we can find out.
Do they have the diesel in the Gladiator yet?
I thought so.
I mean, obviously they have it in the JL, so
or it's coming.
Basically the same thing.
Wait, didn't Casey post something that Epic has a blue? I don't know if it was Epic, but they have a blue Gladiator that's got the eco diesel in it.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I thought it was. Well, let's go directly to. So gas towing is 7,650. Does it show diesel? I'm actually on Jeep's website.
Well, they would be the ones to ask.
Right? Utility capability.
Be cool if we had Jeep on the podcast. Just like some high representative or CEO from Jeep.
You mean just like Jeep themselves?
Yeah, just like Jeep, like the brand, the company.
Diesel fuel 3.0. Leaving tow.
I wonder about those. Have you ever seen those ugly, horrible Honda Ridgelines? It's like a minivan in the front and
I've got a
truck
neighbor
bed in the back.
I got a neighbor. It's actually over the country road behind me. They have one of those, and every time I see it, I just laugh.
I just want to burn them all. Like, I hate them. Like, who thought it would be cool to put a minivan and then chop the back off and put a little pickup bed on it? Like,
I know.
It doesn't look good. I'd be more okay with it if it looked good, but it's like they tried to bring back the El Camino or something.
Well, the El Camino was way cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an El Camino. They're pretty sweet.
Cool. I had an uncle who had one of those. I think it was pretty rad. It was blue. He'd always joke around because he actually had a fairly decent sound system that you could put in an El Camino because there's only so much room that you can do on them.
Yeah, they were pretty small.
He would be sitting at stoplights and he would, hear all the loud music coming from the individual sitting next to him, and he would throw on polka.
Oh, Jesus.
And he would blast the polka over the dude's sound system. He's like, I know they heard it. I just started laughing. I was like, that's awesome.
I used to have the boom boom subwoofers when I was a youngin'.
See,
back of my
I'm
car.
more of a sound quality kind of guy now.
Rattling the trunk. I like a good quality bass. Like, I love loud bass that you can feel.
When your kidneys can feel it?
Yeah. Like, that's the greatest thing ever. Like, that rock concert feeling when you're in the mosh pit and you're right next to the speakers and you can feel it in your bones. Like, no greater feeling. I love it.
Oh, this is such a bummer. I'm trying to I'm going through and on Jeep's website, and I'm actually creating one and thinking
just completely specced out.
Yeah. Well, essentially what I'm just trying to do. Where's the tow package?
$1 million.
Yeah. Well, this thing just with the diesel and not really doing anything else to it is already at 51,615.
Jesus Christ.
But where's the tow? No, that's not that.
They're so expensive. I don't understand it.
Oh, did you? What country is that? I sent a message to Ben from JK Gear Gadgets because he had posted a message on posted a picture on his Instagram in regards to that Chinese version of the Wrangler. Somebody had actually one in Texas,
Oh, really?
and I can't find Ben. If you're listening to this, I think I deleted your message when we were communicating.
Message him back.
I know I
He'll
chat with
hold
his
your.
wife.
You're gonna hold his Crocs hostage until he messages you back.
Yeah, no, I started working on my Jeep in my Crocs because of him.
Hashtag Crocs and socks.
Yeah.
Crocs are comfy. Like
I know it's wicked. I've never had them before, and my wife and kids always got them, and it was just never my thing.
I don't have the regular Crocs. I have the Crocs that have the. It's almost like a loafer shoe lining on top, so they don't have like the holes and stuff, so they don't really look like Crocs, but they're the same like sole and stuff. I was amazed at how much Crocs go for in some of these stores. It's
Oh
like
yeah, they're ridiculous.
$60 for a pair of Crocs. I'm like, there's no material here. What are you charging
Here we go.
$60 for?
I know it's just it's essentially mold injecting.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Here's the link.
Oh. Can I
So
share?
this is I pronounce words for crap. Here's the budget Jeep Wrangler knockoff.
It's called the Thar. And yeah, it looks like a Wrangler. It does look.
It looks like a JK. I was
Thar.
like, oh.
Like there's got to be some copyright something in there. I mean, it's like a little rounder, I guess, but like the door almost looks identical.
Oh yeah.
Looks a little smaller though. Almost looks like a samurai kind of base to it.
Well, this is a 2-door, so I don't know if they'll come out with a 4-door. But I was just like, man, that'd be cool if you could import one of these. I would totally.
The company's called Mahindra.
Yeah,
Mahindra. Mahindra, I think. I don't know. I'm bad at pronouncing things too. I just make up words, and if it sounds like it should, then I count it.
Right.
Wow, the interior even looks like it too. It's a fancy looking little thing. How much do these go for?
I thought they had the pricing in it.
2.2 liter gas engine. Or 2.2 liter diesel, 2 liter gas engine. 4x4 capable. It'd be cool to get one and like compare it to a Jeep.
So apparently this company they've got a website that's US.
Huh.
Mahindra. Wait, this can't be them. This can't be them because it's a tractor supply company.
I watched, speaking of like imported vehicles and stuff, I watched this YouTube video the other day. I don't remember the channel name or anything, but he ordered what he thought was a supercar off the internet, and he was getting it shipped to him, some foreign supercar. Well, he has a lot of issues with shipping. They don't let him know that it's coming, and finally he gets notification. He has to like drive like 4 hours, 5 hours away to go get it that night. And he gets there like minutes before they're going to close the gate at 5 o'clock. And they like, he has the weight of how much the package should weigh. And it's like half that. He's like, what the hell? And the box looks smaller. Well, he opens it up and it's this pink little tiny like electric car. Like it's supposed to be an electric supercar. And it's like this tiny little bubble looking car that is a supercar. And like, he eventually, like, I think he paid through PayPal or something, and he got PayPal to like reimburse him or help him out or something. But like he had this like little tiny car, and like him and a couple of his buddies who are like, they looked like pretty big guys, like 6 foot tall or something. They tried to jam in this little thing, and like they were sitting like elbow to elbow, like there was no room for even 2 people in the car, and then the back seat was basically unusable. And like the motor was backwards, so when it was in drive it was in reverse, and when it was in reverse it was drive. And then there was like, so like you'd have the backup camera on when you were driving, but then the backup camera wouldn't come on when you were in reverse. It was just like, I'm like, yeah, like, wouldn't you do a little more research or something before buying a supercar on the internet? Like,
So
I
this
don't
was supposed to be a
know.
full-blown supercar?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, I don't know, look like a McLaren or some fancy supercar, like all decked out, like an electric supercar. And I think he paid like $40,000 or something for it too. Like, it wasn't cheap. And then he gets this little tiny crap car, and it's like, oh, you just got screwed in the worst way. They tried contacting the guy back. He wouldn't get a hold of him. I'm like, yeah, that's a scam right there.
Oh yeah. Where are those?
And he
So
had to
a
pay all
friend.
these like extra import fees that he couldn't get back either. Like, I think it was like 5 or 6 grand in import fees
Oh,
because
that's
it
horrible.
was imported from, I don't know, like China or some other country.
So have you seen the commercial for like these singing pumpkins? You know, like they have them doing like, God, I don't even know if this is the right one. But so I had a friend of mine. She thought they were really cool, and she wanted to order the pumpkins for Halloween because she's big into Halloween.
Right,
And
right.
you were supposed to change like faces and stuff and different things. And when she finally got her order, it was just these small little 3-inch plastic pumpkins.
Oh, and you're thinking it's big, like
Yep.
normal sized pumpkins. And
So she's currently doing the she put in a what is that called with PayPal, a dispute
oh,
to try
yeah,
to get her money
dispute.
back because the company won't respond to her anymore.
Usually PayPal's pretty good about those things from what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't
I
remember who it
luckily,
is.
knock on wood, haven't had to file a dispute yet. But
They might be called the Singing Pumpkins. I think I just found them. Scary, spooky.
I think I've seen them though. Oh, speaking of scams too, I recently got this scam, and I kind of want to like bring light to it. So if people are listening to this, they can kind of be aware. I was contacted by this company claiming to be like the pharmaceutical company that worked for Bang energy drinks, and they said they would pay me to put like big stickers or decals on my Jeep, and they would have a professional installer install them and everything. So they would send me the money, and then I could go to the local installer, whoever was local to me, and they would install it. But like, I started looking more into it, and it's basically a scam because they will send you the check and it will go into your bank account, and then like you go get like the decal installed and stuff. But as soon as you as soon as like they know you did it, then like the check bounces. It's not a real check. So then like all of a sudden, like, you owe the shop like 10 grand or something for installing this vinyl wrap or something on your rig. So I guess it's a scam that's going around. And I almost got fooled by it. Like, luckily I was like, this kind of seems too good to be true. And that kind of sense kicked up. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and I was like, yeah, this is a scam.
Tell them to
Actually,
send you cash.
yeah, they did send the check, even though I'm like, no, cancel it. And they're like, oh, we already sent it. They like next dayed me the check. So I had
How much was it?
it was like 5 grand or something crazy like that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Cause they were going to pay me a good amount for the first, like my first month or something. And each month I kept it on. And if I went to events and stuff, they would pay me. And,
So the check looked legit, or did it
oh
look
yeah,
like?
it looked 100% legit. It looked like legit check and everything. And, but, you look a little bit more into it, and it's like, yeah, that's a scam. And apparently it's been going around. And I even reached out to Bang. I never heard back from them, but I was like, hey, just so you know, I almost got caught up in this scam. They're saying they work for you or work with you or whatever. And so it's just something to be aware about.
That's wild. I have. What the heck was that? I found something online and I thought it was a really good deal, and I started signing up to purchase, but
Yeah.
then I backed out. It wasn't. It was not a Jeep part. It was something else. I can't remember what it was. It was recent too. And then I started searching online, you know, like, are these legit? And I found all these people going, nope, it's not legit. They took my money. I haven't got my money back. You know, they're trying to dispute it wherever they can. I don't know why people do have to do that stuff.
Just a way to make a dollar preying on innocent people that don't know any better. I mean, they do it on a lot of older people too.
Always. Well, sir, I've actually got to cut out. I got to go pick up the kids from school.
Well, I was about to say, we better cut this before it becomes a 2-hour podcast anyway.
How long are we on?
I want to say like an hour and a half or something.
Holy mackerel. I think we need a timer next time.
Yeah, didn't it start at like 3 or something? And it's 3 my time, and now it's 4:19 my time. So
it's 3:19 my time.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Somewhere around there. Well,
back on the ranch.
Back on the ranch. Well, you go pick up the kiddos from school, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be on the podcast again and talk about poop and $2 bills and Taco Bell, and we went on some weird tangents, but I like
you know what?
it.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah. If it entertains the people, that's all we need.
And then maybe next time we chat it up, I'll talk about have more information about the trail ambassador thing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Maybe I can get Ryan on to talk about it too. He'd be one to have on the podcast.
I would definitely, because he's been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I haven't thought to reach out to him, but I probably should.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. I would reach out to him.
But I will link Brian's channel down in the description below, or in the show notes, or however you're listening to this. It'll be description in YouTube, but show notes on the podcast. And you haven't started your new podcast yet, but you're going to soon?
Yeah, it's coming soon.
I can link to your website then, maybe?
Yeah, the website doesn't really function.
I'll link to it anyway, so when it does function, people listening can go click on it.
So it's
that'll work.
sheet.xyz. Yes, .xyz is really a website domain.
XYZ, huh?
I know. It was super cheap.
Oh, I was like, why did you go with that instead of .com?
Because the .com was already taken.
Really? Somebody already has?
Yeah, somebody already. I couldn't believe it. So
I already took the sheet.
And it's just sitting there. It's just parked, a GoDaddy park. So I was like, okay, I want to find something that's outrageous that, not the common. And of course, I did try to. I've only got a few minutes. I did try to think about getting the .porn or .adult or .XXX, but I didn't think it was justifiable at $180 a year for the domain name registration.
Oh, geez. Yeah. And then if someone wanted to listen to you at work, it might block the site.
Absolutely.
Be like, why can't I listen to this? It keeps saying I'm trying to go to some naughty website.
And there's nothing on there except for two dudes. Ew.
Why are you watching that?
So, yeah, no, .xyz. Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, all right, we'll try it.
That's funny. All right, well, you go pick up the kiddos and have a good night.
All right, we'll chat with you later.
All righty, thank you. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you made it all the way through this podcast, then give yourself a round of applause. Sometimes my ADD gets the best of me, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And if you're not, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube channel, all that. As always, guys, stay bearded, stay Jeepin'. I'm out.